Alright, well I am back. I went and took care of some housekeeping. So, first of all, once I got the Caterium outpost started back up again, very soon after I'd gotten the trucks rolling, I was sitting looking at the map, just watching the trucks move, and I happened to watch as two of them, one from each line, came and lined up head to head here, and they both stopped, and I got an alert for them saying that they had deadlocked. And yeah, sure enough, went down there, and they were just stuck facing each other, refusing to move. So I actually ended up redesigning down here. It's now got like two separated bridge paths, and each truck should do a cross of the first bridge, and then a loop through here, and then leave out the second bridge. And I tried to avoid having their paths collide over here as well, and I think I got them separated just enough that I haven't had any issues. It seems like, really, when they were only pointed dead at each other, that I was getting that deadlock issue. So yeah, it seems like the game will not let you have two trucks that whose paths, literally collide with one another. So I redid the routes for both of these, and I think that situation is much improved. Some other housekeeping that I took care of, I was taking a look at rotor production up here, and I noticed that it was still not at 100% efficiency. In fact, it was lower than this. It was around like 80%, I want to say. And previously I'd blamed the manifold design on that it was still balancing out and filling up. But that felt like it had been far, far, far too long. The manifold should have had plenty of time to fill by then. So I went and poked around and traced back what was running slow. These were running behind. You can see now they're creeping up towards 100%. And these machines were not filling. And I think maybe they are still a bit behind. Yeah, they're gonna sit idle here for a second. I think that for real this time that's the manifold filling up, because these machines are filling now. You see they're creeping up past 5 and past 10. So anyhow, I tracked it all the way back, because I double-checked all the rates on the machines, and I thought I'd done it properly, until I got to the smelters, and I found that this smelter had been underclocked to 50%. And I thought about it a bit, and I'm pretty sure that is a relic from the initial design of this iron line over here, from before we added in rotors. Initially, I had two smelters, and one of them was underclocked by 50%. And I think when I added in a third smelter, I just never remembered that this was underclocked. So now it's up to 100%, so that should be 3 smelters producing at 30 per minute, so 90 per minute total, which is actually what this line requires. So just a small thing, but glad that I did finally notice it and track it down. So this machine should slowly be climbing, up to 100% efficiency, as you can see here. And hopefully, once these back up, we will actually get 100% efficiency throughout that entire line. So, glad to have finally fixed that. Let's see, is there anything else I want to take care of? First, that mycelia research, I think we have enough for. Finally got some coal in my inventory. So I just need to steal some mycelia, make, I think it was 50 fabric, and unlock that. What else does this require? Oh, biomass. Okay. I think I have some Let's go to wood. I think you're the one that's backed up. Okay. All right, 50 fabric. Shoot. More biomass is required. Let's see if that's something I'm gonna have to make by hand. Oh, this fills relatively quick. It just produces so many per cycle. It's a small feature, but I really like that the crafting bench stays on the recipe that you last had selected. Boy, if it reset back to like iron ingots every single time, that would be a real drag. It does reset the scroll wheel, but at least it stays with the recipe selected. That is very helpful. I think that's everything. All right.
Research completed. Gas mask and filter unlocked. Mycelia fabric is highly absorbent, making it more effective at toxic gas filtration than the standard issue Pioneer helmet. A pleasant pine scent is included. Gas filters require regular replacement for optimal safety.
All right. I think I also wanted to get this. 1,000 cable, 3 protein. That should be really easy at this point. Not there. Over here. Oh, no. I'm going to keep going for a bit more.
Pocket dimension significantly expanded. I worked all afternoon, analyzing the transdimensional confibulatory permutations of alien DNA to achieve this. We are all doing our part for Fix-It.
If you say so, Ada. Okay, and I could get another hand slot. That's doable now that I have steel going. Let's just... still need Sam. Yes. Power switch, I'm not too enthused about. That needs plastic. Yeah. So that's all good. I think that's a statter. I haven't unlocked that recipe yet, to my knowledge. What are you? Silica. Okay, I don't know how much quartz I have sitting around. I've kind of been forgetting to gather those little deposits of it that I've passed, now that I have the Blade Runners for quite a while. But that might be worthwhile. 200 silica. Let's check if there's anything else. I don't have encased beams, which is what that requires, so probably not yet. Could start in on experimental power generation, but I think I'll leave that for now. I want to say, at least before 1.0, that this tree only really became useful once you'd unlocked some other stuff to go with it. 200 silica. I don't think... Yeah, we just don't have much quartz. I'll keep an eye out for it, though. But let's go ahead and get that blueprint designer finally set down. Yeah, it's big. Almost as big as the space elevator. I think I'm just gonna awkwardly place this on a hill. I'm sure that's everybody's favorite. Oof, oof. Okay, something like that.
Once you have built a satisfactory blueprint, interact with the Blueprint Designer terminal to save it. It will then be available in the Blueprints tab of your build menu. Blueprints can always be edited to correct mistakes or optimize. If you find yourself struggling to work within the set size restrictions, remember that this is a you problem, and efficiency can always be improved.
All right, well, let's see. So it's been a while since I thought about coal, but that is what I'm hoping to set up blueprints for. So let's see. I think I need 3 water extractors per 8 coal generators. There's no way I'm fitting 8 coal generators in here. I don't even know if I could fit 4. It's probably more like 3. So I could make these in groups of 2. So yeah, the idea behind this is that you build whatever you want inside the bounds of this big blueprint box, and then you can save it. And when you go to build something, instead of selecting like coal generator, for example, you'll select the whole blueprint, and everything that was inside this box can be placed all at once. Still costs the same materials, but it is a much more organized and fast way to build most of the time. Okay, so let's... Can I lock you down there? Oh, huh. Interesting. I'm forgetting my controller keys. Okay, so let's lock you there. And then, yeah, do we want to do 2 of these or just 1? Maybe we'll plan on 2. So that seems to be centered, and that's as far back as we can get it. Any further back, and it overlaps with the Blueprint Designer, which it won't let you build and won't let you save it, certainly. So let's do 1 there, and then 1 in line. What, like there? No, there. That should be right down the middle. Okay. And now the question is, how do I want to feed inputs into these? So, whenever I've done these previously, I have fed water down from the top to that fluid input there. And sort of my thinking for that has just been that the pipes seem to work better if you're absolutely certain that they aren't fighting any upward pressure to get to the coal generator. As in, if they're coming in up high, and the water can make it up that high with however many pumps you have attached, then you're basically guaranteed it's going to fall into the generator. So I kind of use that as a sanity check. Like, if I can see the pipes up there filling, then I know I'm fine. And it kind of helps keep them out of the way as well when I'm walking around checking on all the coal generators. It's nice to have the pipes coming down from the ceiling instead of just hanging out on the floor here. So that's what I'm gonna shoot for again, I think. I don't know what height is best for this. Maybe let's do something like that, and then up like, a 2-meter foundation there. And that should be aligning exactly with the blueprint designer down there. And it wasn't giving us any overlap warnings, so I'm hopeful that that works decently with the coal generators and not getting in the way of anything. Okay, looking good. I wonder if I could put a platform going between these as well. Would that be worthwhile, or do I have any things from the awesome shop that would help here? Like, maybe I could build a ramp down. Oop, misclicked there, I guess. Okay. You know, that's not half bad. Except it's not lined up. So, it's more than half bad. Let's see if I can get you to work. Oh, wow, and that just barely fits. Interesting. And I can walk by it without issue. That might be a nifty little design there. Okay. Let me... Oh, I don't have any handrails, do I? Okay, well... It is what it is. I haven't been unlocking much from the awesome shop, so... This is my penance. Okay. And now let's think about getting water into here. So I need logistics and a pipe floor hole. When it lined up with this... Okay, so that's red, 1, 2, 3. Let's see how the pipe looks from there. Pipeline support, wall hole. Okay, yeah, pipes themselves aren't in that group. Let's put one with a flow. Copper sheets. Okay. Well, we'll be right back. Excuse me. Alright, well, I'm back, and while I was over there handcrafting 200 copper sheets, I was trying to think of a way to fit it into my existing production lines. And I think that a nice, easy way to do that would be to rip off some of this wire production, because this has been sitting here backed up for quite a while. I just don't use that much wire. So I'm gonna try instead to, let's see, delete this, get this out of the way. And I'm going to have you output, let's turn you off, by the way, so that I can hopefully get rid of some of that wire that I just picked up. Let's have you output directly into this, if possible. Okay, that seems to be working. And we're gonna switch you, which means I'm gonna need to, excuse me for that jump. Oh, stop. I'm going to need to switch you to copper sheets, fill you up with those ingots, and you take in 20 per minute, whereas this was taking in 15 per minute. So I really want to underclock this to about, what would it be, 20 per minute, I think? 2/3. So this is only taking 10, leaving an extra 5 to be absorbed by the other one. It was already absorbing 15, so that should give us 20 total to be absorbed here. And then I just need to work out a storage setup. We'll just put it over here. Sure. You can tell that I have given up on keeping this especially clean, at least at the moment. I think once we have coal together, that at that point I am going to try. Nice, glad that worked out. At that point I am going to try out building some more modular factories and sort of spreading out more specialized production around the place. We'll see how that goes. Let's turn you back on. We've got some of the wire out of my inventory. And there, at least we have copper sheets being produced somewhere. So that hopefully I don't get caught handcrafting a bunch like that in the near future. Alright. Let's hop up here and finally put in that pipe. Okay, so there's different build modes for these, similar to belts and such. I think, yeah, horizontal to vertical is the most likely to work out. It does look a little funny. Looks good front to back, but there's like a distinct little kink in it right there. So let's try placing it.
Fixit
That doesn't look
pipelines can
bad.
contain any fluid, including the water necessary for coal-powered generators. Note: water does not flow upwards by itself. While water extractors provide some lift, to truly defy gravity, consider the use of pipeline pumps.
Yeah, so that's Ada there, giving an indication that the height of your pipes matters a lot. And that pumps let you lift water to a height. But you can have a pipe with no pumps, so long as it's level, running for, I believe, a theoretically infinite distance. And it will eventually fill. It might take a while, but I suppose an infinite pipe never fills, but you get what I mean. Did I put it here? Yeah. Horizontal to vertical. Hopefully that looks identical. Okay, a little weird glitch for a second there, but looking good. Are those in line? I feel like they look different. This one looks straighter. They are not. They are not in line. It's the pipeline. And what I want is the floor hole. Okay. 2, 3. One more. Hopefully. No. Hey, that looks pretty good, though. Maybe I should be doing that instead. Oh, it's because the foundations are rotated that was messing with me. Okay, so everyone except for this is in the same position, so let's just match that one up, I think, like that. So that the pattern looks identical between them all. Yeah, so that hopefully I don't have any more little confusions like that, trying to, oh, come on, there we go, floor hole. Trying to match up to a pattern. Horizontal to vertical. Okay, same little visual glitch for a moment placing it, but that's looking pretty fantastic. Okay. So now, what about getting the oar in? I think I could do that with overhead belts. Also, as just a rule of thumb for something like this, I usually don't place the belts specifically. It's more like I plan it out and put supports in and stuff like that, but I don't string the belts into the blueprint. And my reasoning for that is that if I put like 10 of these in a row, I might need to run, Mark II belts for a ways and then switch to Mark Is as it gets further down the line. And so I don't want the blueprint to include those, because sometimes you have to change them out yourself, depending on how you're placing these. So I will just leave that as is, but I can get away with a Mark I leading into here, because supported fuel types, but I don't know what those are. Okay, I was hoping to see the burn rate of specific things. Do I have coal in my inventory? I do. Okay, so 15 per minute, so yeah, well within the capability of a Mark I belt, so no issue there. Let's pull a lift off of here. Just drag it up to that height. And then think about putting a splitter off of there. Oh, I can't place a splitter under the platform. Okay, well let me get on top of it. How do I want to do this then, actually? Maybe I can place a ceiling mount. Like here. Will I want the belt to go there? I think so. And then a splitter off of that? Question mark. I might have to place some belts in. Doesn't want me doing it that way, so this way. Is that hopefully running the correct direction? I think it is. Let's see, because yeah, that's showing an output there. So I think that's good. Yes, now it lets me place a splitter, but it is partially overlapping the blueprint designer. Oh boy. So let's move you off of there, and let's take our belts again, and let's try to start them in one more, and let's also try to take them one click further, if possible. I can't remember exactly where I placed the support. Okay, yeah, it does need to be further. So you will have to get out of the way so that I can do this properly. So I want you to start there and end one beyond there. And then I'll place a splitter off. And yeah, that's looking like it's aligned based on that dotted line there. I think that's the only thing I could imagine it aligning to. Getting a clearance overlap, but that's fine. And based on the coloration, it looks like I put it the correct direction. And now we'll add that lift back in. And it does work. Beautiful. Okay. So yeah, I think that's going to work out fine. So let's try to repeat the same process over here. So I might as well just pull a belt out of here, go one past that foundation, put a splitter off the end, getting the alignment indicator, so that's a good sign. And then put a lift down. Okay. It's clipping in just a little bit there. I wonder if I could make this look just a bit... Oh yeah, that's a weird visual bug. I feel like that's been in the game for forever. But I wonder if it would look just a little better like this. So yeah, it's snapping to that, so it should connect. But yeah, that gives it a little bit more space. And it's pretty well in line with the pipe as well, so I think I like that. Just like that. Clipped right into the splitter, but that's fine. And looking good. Oh yeah, there's that. The line of the conveyor isn't quite going up to the top there, but nah, I think that's fine, and I don't really know what to do about that. Okay, so yeah, that should all be lined up. I clipped, or I snapped the conveyor to both ends. That's an important thing to think about with the conveyors, is these vertical lifts. It's really easy to like assemble everything and just assume that like, oh, this splitter is probably close enough to that conveyor, so it should pick it up. Unless you hear that well, here, I'll just delete this one again and place it. But unless you hear that sound and it snaps to it, don't assume these conveyors are actually attached to anything. It's only when they snap that it's like giving you a guarantee, and you can see that it's snapping up there. I'll rotate it so you can tell, like that. You can hear the sound confirmation as well. And only when you hear that can you feel confident that it is going to pick up or place input into whatever you're pointing at. That's definitely caught me before, where I would place this conveyor and then just align the splitter to this position, but I wouldn't point at the conveyor when I was building it. I would point at a belt over here, and then resources wouldn't flow into that conveyor. So worth keeping in mind, definitely. Things like that have caught me many times before. So yeah, with this design, we are going to end up with this sort of asymmetrical pattern where we'll have a clear lane, and then a ramp, and then a clear lane. But I think that's fine. That's a fine little, repeating pattern. So nothing wrong with that. And yes, I've got this up here. And I could even, I could have used conveyor floor holes and pulled the ore up here as well. But I generally find that dealing with the piping and the belts for the ore, or in this case the coal, and the pipes for the water, all on the same level, can get a little complicated. So I'm just not gonna bother with that. And you'll notice I'm not including the connecting pipes up top as well. That's partially for the same thinking as with not including the belts, but really Pipeline Mark IIs are a long, long way away, and we would probably never use them with a coal setup anyway. But the real reason is because the piping can get pretty complicated, because looking back at my notes here, it's, let's see, 3 water extractors per 8 coal generators. So you end up having to pipe some of these sets together off of a shared set of water extractors, and sometimes you have to sort of cross stitch between them and have 2 inputs going into one downward pipe. It can be a whole mess, so I just don't include that in the blueprint. I let myself figure that out once I've actually arranged the whole line of coal generators. So hopefully that makes sense. Okay, I think that's pretty good. If I had some more unlocks from the Awesome Shop, I would sort of pretty this thing up a bit, but I think that's looking just fine for now. And now is the time to go ahead and save it. Clear blueprint? No, definitely don't accidentally hit that after you've spent all this time building. Not saying I've done such a thing, but I could imagine a hypothetical player doing such a thing. Alright, 2x coal generator. That's nice and simple. I don't really think I need a description. Oh, I haven't even made categories for all of these things yet. I won't bother with that at this time. Let's see if we can find a picture of the coal generator. Nice. So I'll select that icon and select a background color of, I don't know, maybe like a yellow to indicate power. Something like that. Good enough. All right. Save blueprint. And now I should be able to go to the blueprint section and find 2x coal generator. And there's the whole setup ready to be placed all at once. It's amazing. So yeah, for consistent large builds, having blueprints available is fantastic.
Building in blueprint mode can further optimize your construction process with snapping and quick dismantling options. Build modes are not just there to make your work easier, they compensate for inevitable human error. Fix-It understands humanity like no other, and humanity needs you to be efficient and productive at all times.
Yep, well, as Ada said, unfortunately, human error is a possibility, and that is why I really wanted to unlock these blueprints before tackling a big coal power setup. And again, I could have built a smaller setup and then expanded or redone it, but I would kind of rather just build this once if feasible. But yeah, I think the first time I tried building a large coal power setup, I didn't use blueprints at all. I did it all by hand, and there were lots of tiny inconsistencies that either bugged me visually or in some cases actually like impeded functionality, such as lifts that I hadn't properly snapped in or something like that, and the whole thing didn't work. But yeah, as Ada also mentioned, build modes are a thing with blueprints as well, so I think the most important one is dismantle. So if I'm in dismantle and I press R, I can swap it to blueprint mode, and you can, first of all, when you're building in blueprint mode, you can eyedropper blueprints with middle mouse, which can be fantastic. Oh, a creature is in the way. That bird there singing, blocking that whole blueprint. But also you can, of course, dismantle the whole blueprint at once. Just fantastic. It really makes this a lot easier. So that is a saved blueprint, so we should be good to actually clear the blueprint designer now. Boy, I hope so. And there we go, finally exited. And I think, or I thought, oh, I have like text boxes selected, which is why I'm having problems. I had thought that there was like a little chest that would appear to contain the items you'd pulled out, but maybe it just dumped it straight into my inventory since I had room. So that works for me. All right. I think that puts us in a wonderful position for coal power. So I think I'm going to go ahead and stop here for now. And next time should be tackling actually building a pretty decently sized coal plant. That's going to be the end of today's episode. Thank you all for joining me, and I hope to see you in the next one.